So kan and li is not a specific practice. It is a kind of practice. It's a kind of practice where we bring yin and yang together. We pair yin and yang and work with yin and yang. So there's pairing of yin and yang, there's interacting of yin and yang, there's fusion of yin and yang. So there's different levels about what happens when they come together. So for the first level of kan and li, we are, the body is yin compared to the mind, which is yang. So the body is water and the mind is fire, the conceptual mind. That includes the emotions and whatnot. And so generally in a post-heaven world, we'll get into that. That's a term for another day. In our general normal 3D time and space dimension, in terms of the body and how we operate, generally our mind is above and our body is below. Our mental activity comes upward and outward, right? It's arrayed outward, it's thinking, and as we think, we kind of almost float and come up. Whereas the body is heavy, solid, dense, it sinks, right? I'm sitting on this chair, I'm not floating in the air, right? Because the physical body has a certain density to it. So we have water below and fire above. And when you have fire rises, water sinks, so there is no interaction between the two things. The two things being here yin qi and yang qi. There's no interaction, right? Fire's going up, water's going down. What we want to do for the first time that fire and water come together is put the fire under the water, right? See the fire going. Now the fire is going up and the water is going down, and you have interaction, you have pairing, right? And fire heats up the water and the water turns into steam and you have transformation. So not just interaction, but you also have transformation. So what that's talking about at the first stage is bringing your mind into the body, bringing the yin and yang into the body. Not just into the body, but down deep inside the body, right? And so it's below, it's inside the body and it's heating up the body, causing transformation, right? So these are metaphors to help understand a process of cultivation. Now there's an added layer of complexity here. What we're specifically working with in this course, and it's still the first coming together of fire and water, is working with the heart and the kidneys. So we're not just bringing sort of the general mind into the body, we're doing that, but we're also getting a little more specific, right? And each meeting of fire and water in the alchemical process becomes more and more specific, more and more sharp, exact. So kan and li here is even a little bit more specific in that li, fire, is the heart and the middle field, and kan is the kidneys and the lower field, right? So we talked about in setting up the cauldron of furnace in the last course about heaven and earth and creating a heaven and earth inside the body. So it's similar, right? So we're working within that heaven and earth and learning to, by doing basic kan and li breathing, we're learning to circulate the yin and yang qi between heaven and earth. Now these metaphor of kan and li can get quite, there's a lot to it. So there's also the liquid, there's other things that we'll begin working with later on. But for right now, basic kan and li we're doing in this course is bringing our mind inside the body, one, and two, specifically using the breathing between the middle and the lower field, and bringing the jing qi down into the lower field along with the awareness, the yi, right, into the lower field. So we've brought yin and yang together, right?